Hey guys, so I'm going to teach you today how to use pastels to color your designs. Now, a lot of you have different designs and pastels can be a little tricky. What I want you to think about is not being perfect, trying to get away from perfection. So these are the pastels and they're in a container like this. Try not to drop them on the ground and make sure that we put them back, and just keep them nice so that everybody can be able to use them. So when you're picking your design, I would shade the foreground first. So the foreground is what's in front. The background is in the back. So color your foreground areas first. So for this bug, this is not my design. This is a student's design that I copied, and I think we'll go with some. So I'm trying to stay within the lines, but if I go out a little bit, I can go back and kind of clean that up later on. I'm not too worried about that. One thing too is with pastels, you want to work the left side first and then work if you're right-handed, because if I'm coloring over here, I'm going to be smearing this one. So you want to color all this area first and then move your way over to the paper so that you're not smearing as you're coloring. And if you are left-handed, you want to color all of this side first and then move over. I'm just doing a quick demo in the middle just to demonstrate how this works. So you'll notice that some of my spots have some white in them because I'm going to go back later and use my finger to blend. But I'm not really too worried about that right now. I'm just trying to color the whole bug at this point. I'm going to color his feet yellow too, and then I'm going to go in with another shade. Remember, the big point to moving my paper around so that I don't smear anything. You want to really be careful with smearing, and then you can either blow off the chalk dust or the pastel dust, or you can kind of tap it. I think tapping works too. So remember that in middle school art, we're always adding gradients and value changes, and that's the goal in almost every class, whether it's painting or fundamentals of art. We're trying to always add colors together and do more interesting things than just basic all over color. So I'm going in with orange on the edge of the design, and then I'm going to blend it later. Once you start blending, I would wait until like towards the end of the class to do any blending, because once you start getting it on your finger, it's hard to like keep your paper clean. So I've colored the one bug here. Let me color some of these on the side. All right, now I'm gonna be working on the background. So I haven't blended anything. I'm just gonna be working on the background around these few bugs that I've already started. I'm not gonna be laying my hand down because I don't wanna smear my work. So when I'm working, I'm gonna have my hand kind of up. I've kept this hand clean and this hand's very dirty. So we wanna be careful not to get fingerprints all over as we're working. Try to think about keeping one hand clean to kind of hold your paper. All right, before you do your background, and I know I kind of started right there, I want you to blend your foreground. So you just use your finger, or your pinky finger is kind of smaller for smaller areas, but you just use your finger. This hand's really dirty, so I'm trying not to put it on the paper, and this hand's clean. So I'm just using my finger to kind of blend. If I go outside the lines a little bit, that's okay. see how it makes this pretty blend, and all those little white spots go away. I'll go in and color those eyes. Going outside the lines a little bit, that's all right. All right, so this one's done. Now I'm gonna come over here. I have a yellow finger, so I can use this one for this green and yellow one. So we'll clean up the background, so don't worry about that so much. I can always just like make that look cool. I think I'm gonna leave those wings white. Trying to get all the edges good. Okay. Now, this one is orange. I don't want to put this green finger on this orange one, so I'm going to try to use a different finger. If you need to go wash your hands, you can do that, but try not to mix your colors as you're blending. That's why I colored them all first. And I'm going back to blend. And I love how the colors just blend together. You can always come back and add, more color later. All right, so can't use those two fingers. I'll use these. Ooh, I like that black and yellow. I don't want to put my black finger on that yellow spot, so I used a different finger. And now I'm definitely gonna have to go wash my hands. So that's my foreground work. All right, now that I have blended my foreground, I haven't done any details like these spots or anything, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and work on my background. So the next step is how to blend our background. For blending our background, it's a little bit different. We can't use our fingers because if we use our fingers, we're gonna get that blue onto our foreground. So what you're gonna do is you're going to get a box of tissues and get one of the tissues out. You're gonna take a pencil that's kind of sharp and you're gonna wrap that tissue around the end of a pencil. So this is going to make it easier for you to get in those small areas. And when I blend, I hold it like this. So I just have my finger on the end of the pencil. Make sure your other hand's pretty much clean so you're not smudging your clean areas. And you're just taking that. Let me zoom in so you can see better. But you're just taking that tissue on the edge, and it actually helps you blend a little bit better and be more precise with your blending. And I want it to try to be as neat as you can on this process, so that way your work looks nice. But using pastels is it's quicker and easier than using colored pencils. I love how they blend. You can do a lot of creative things with your blending. Now, if you're changing colors, you'll want to get a different tissue so that you're not mixing colors. I'm trying to be careful. I got a little bit on the foot here, but that's okay. Try really hard to keep it clean. It doesn't have to be perfect though. All right. And I don't want to see that, you know, if you're shading your background, you're going completely over your foreground with the background color. All right, so the next step after you've done the left side and your background, you want to go in and kind of clean up your design. I would add some details to some of the areas and just kind of clean things up. Let me show you how to do that. So I've got a little background on the edge here of his leg. So I want to find one that has like kind of a sharp corner and then go in and just add some pastel on top of that area. Same thing, find a sharp edge, like right there. Go in with that green to clean up. I'm just trying to get those edges. Have your shading done, your background done, then you're going to get a charcoal pencil like this and you're going to go around your designs. Now to do this, you want to keep your hand kind of raised because you don't want, or just think about where your paper is. Try not to set your hand on your paper and smear everything that you've done. I finished the left side just so you can see the process. What I have done is I tried to go back in with other colors and clean those up. I have all different colors blended well together on everything, and I went around all my design with the charcoal pencil to clean everything up. So you can do this as you finish, so that way you kind of keep your paper clean. I have had to wash my hands several times. Try to do your best with not smearing it and getting it all over, especially the cleaner areas on your paper.